What's up? I'm Brittany.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Mike.
And this is Hot to Go, your daily dose of pop culture stories. Hot to go.
Okay, we know. You're tired of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. In fact, we said that yesterday, but things just keep happening, and we need to tell you because, hello, that's our job. Blake Lively's team filed a motion on Thursday, today, to throw out Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit against her. So if you remember correctly, her initial lawsuit against him and Wayfarer Studios for sexual harassment was filed. Then he filed a countersuit within a week. Her team is saying that should be completely thrown out, this countersuit. And they're doing it in California. Specifically because back in 2023, California made this new law in response to the Me Too movement that basically said if you file a sexual harassment lawsuit, the people you file it against can't just countersue you and be like, oh, that's defamation. You can't say that we did something wrong. Because then at the end of the day, so many people who have come forward, and they were thinking, of course, of smaller actors, people who worked on sets. They weren't thinking of massive movie stars, but they were going, you could just be put into oblivion, basically, if you came forward and said someone Harvey Weinstein sexually assaulted you. So there's this law there protecting women who speak up about sexual harassment. So they put this out and they said, listen, and they quoted Wayfarer Studios president Steve Sorowitz in this. And they said, listen, the fact that Wayfarer parties have actually said, and we have it in writing, that they want to sue Ms. Lively, quote, into oblivion, really says it for us.
Yeah.
They basically have just hurt themselves. They kind of say more and more and more about that, but then really it all goes down to that she and her team are saying his lawsuit should be completely taken out because he's just thrown out this massive number to, quote, try to sue me into oblivion because I came forward and said that I was sexually harassed on the set of his movie.
Dang.
Yep. It's pretty wild. I mentioned the thing with California because it's important, because if you've really been following these stories, her original complaint was filed in California with the Civil Rights Department there because it was a workplace situation. Mm-hmm. The actual filing of the lawsuit, both lawsuits from both parties, happened in New York.
Yeah.
So when this came out today and it was wait, why is she doing this in California? It's because of this Me Too movement law. And that's kind of what people are calling it.
Yeah. So the idea that you don't have that slingshot of automatically defamation lawsuit put in, so it would make sense to go through California. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks, Kendall.
Yep, that is the update for now. We'll let you know if anything happens.
Yeah.
Basically, at this point, it's just another little box to check in this drama.
And this was the second time we're talking about it because, of course, 2 days ago, Ryan Reynolds filed to dismiss as well. So they're both attacking this in a different way, but he was claiming that Baldoni's claims amount little to nothing more than hurt feelings.
Well, and
is how he quoted it.
And Ryan Reynolds' Ryan Reynolds is I had every right to call him a sexual predator. Mm-hmm. Period.
Yeah.
And of course, Justin Baldoni's team is no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've said this before, and I think it just rings true in this example is both parties think they are the most righteous. Both parties think they are absolutely in the right, and that means we have a long legal battle ahead of us.
Yeah. There's no settling. We learned that yesterday, that Justin Baldoni's lawyer basically said, we ain't settling because we want to make sure that the court of law sees that we are innocent, because my client, Justin Baldoni, wants his image, the good name that he had back.
I'm telling you too, because we've seen pretty much everything that's already, they're showing us everything. All this plays out in court. I don't think they're going to walk away. Anyone's going to walk away feeling like there's a clear winner and there's a clear loser. I think camps have already been decided, and you're going to be bringing in the information that you've experienced in your own life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll keep an eye on it for you.
Yep.
So we've been following Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber's marriage lately. It's been really public that Justin Bieber, I don't want to say he's spiraling out of control. Radar Online does. I don't.
Radar.
Wait, no.
I think he's just been I think it's instinctual in some. Oh my God, I'm going to get so many people mad at me. Fine. I'm saying it. I don't care. I'm not running for PTA ever. I think this happens in a small percentage of men who have had kind of a wild and crazy life. They have a kid and they have to prove that they are still have body autonomy and they are their own selves and they can still be wild, fun guys.
I'm still fun.
I'm still fun. Look at me. I still smoke weed. And I think he's got a bad case of that right now. I think, again, this is just me, an armchair expert in a very cheap chair, saying that I see somebody who wants us to know he's not just a dad and like his very much so. I mean, it's one thing to get married. You can cosplay marriage all day and still get to do exactly what you want. Now you have a kid. You're not baby anymore, Justin. And I think that that's really messing with him. And he really wants to convey, like, I'm still cool. I can still do what I want. Mm-hmm. Well, he went to the only place where people like to have mental breakdowns in public, which is
Vegas?
Disneyland. What he says is his happiest place on earth with his BFFs. He went with Hailey Bieber, his wife, and also Kid Laroi. And he posted some things saying, I think, what was it? It was just like a very corny, I'm in the happiest place on earth with my favorite people. Was their kid here? No. But I mean, their kid's like 3-4 months old or so now.
Yeah, I think 6 months.
Yeah. So I get like your kid's not here, but like maybe don't say it's your favorite people. Like just so not
right.
mom-like. Okay.
Right.
Like I wouldn't, now Go-Go's that list.
Mm-hmm.
You're my favorite person, but like that doesn't pop in his head because the kid's not.
Mm-hmm. No, and to your earlier point with there's like a group of men that do this, I 100% agree. I think, and we can say there are women who do this too, that go like, look at me, I'm still fun. And you're like, hey, this is like the 4th night this week you've left baby home with grandma. How you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
are you okay? Like, it's okay for you to go out that much, but are you okay?
Like, are you okay? Glad baby's in a safe space. Are you in a healthy, safe space?
Yeah.
But you're right. It's almost like he just wants people that are concerned for him, and that being I hate the overall umbrella branch of like the media, but saying things going, is he okay? And he's like, watch what I'm gonna do. I'm a cool kid. It's like, dude, you're being such a punk.
You're being so contrary, and that always is such a boring personality to me. Like,
it's so boring.
Oh yeah, you don't think I can smoke weed? I absolutely believe that you can smoke weed.
And like,
anybody
I truly
could.
don't care.
Yeah, it's not that impressive to both get and smoke weed.
Where it's legal.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Like,
you're rich as hell.
I could drink beer. Cool, bro. Love that for you.
Guess what? I can go to Target. Oh, did you know that I can go to a library? Like what? Like,
I don't know what you're doing here. So yeah, I know that there's a lot of people worried. They're like, Hailey Bieber's even kind of had some missteps lately where I feel like she's feeling the pressure that he, is he okay? Is he not okay? But they ran off to Disneyland as a big group. A lot of photos to convey they're doing great in a way that you go, I really hope you are.
Is Disney somewhere you would go to be like, I'm doing great?
No, I'm not a Disney adult. You're asking the wrong. I've never been to Disney World. So if you were to ask me if I had unlimited funds and I was having a mentee bee, I'm going to Bora Bora, baby. I'm going to like Poconos. I'm going somewhere. No, I'm not going to go be around people's kids.
Yeah, that's what trips me out a little bit about it. Like they have all the access and money in the world, so I'm sure their Disney experience, I know their Disney experience is very different than ours would ever be. But I agree. I mean, unless you're someone like Steve Patterson is very good at Disney. Like Jason Matheson is obviously very good at Disney.
No, but and like that. They also have, Steve has older kids, so I can see him finding a lot of fun in that. Jason has a great time. He loves Disney. Mm-hmm. I don't need it. Like, it's not going to ever, unless I'm taking Go-Go. And again, I say that with I've never been there.
Right.
But like, I would rather be eating a mass amounts of chips and salsa on a beach anywhere, even if it's Lake Superior. Yeah,
it just sounds kind of stressful. Because I agree. Like I got to go there for 2 hours. I was at a leadership conference, and they surprised us with Epcot passes and $20 in Disney bucks.
Exciting.
So it doesn't seem like a lot of money in Disney bucks from what I've seen.
So how was your water?
Thank you. So yes, in high school I was rolling big. So that was my one Disney experience. It was really cool. Like I got to go to Epcot for 2 hours for free. But I would agree, having not been there and only having heard the stories and seen the photos, like it doesn't really look like somewhere that I would go, wow, this sounds relaxing and enjoyable. Like I need a minute and I'm going to go here to get that.
Haley's 28, Justin's 31. And I think it's probably just fun to bring a bunch of friends there and be goofy, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
If I was rich as hell and had all the access, I'd probably go to Disney. I think I take it all back. I would go to Disney.
I still don't know if I would, but like I also...
If you could get to the front of every line on everything you wanted
rides,
to do. And eat everything you wanted. You didn't have to worry about planning it. You don't have to worry about where you're going to stay. You don't have to worry about
and I bet there's like cool hotels right on the property.
Oh, for sure.
They are not having the Disney experience we would have had.
Yeah.
No.
So that's the big difference.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be the happiest place on earth.
I don't know. I might actually just ask Bradley which cruise I should go on and go do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
cruises.
Right? Like,
I do not like cruises.
You don't?
No, I've only been on one and I'm good. I never need to go again.
Wow. Wait, which cruise line did you do?
The Royal Caribbean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it makes a difference. Big I don't know which one's what, but like they're like, oh, that's a different because Bradley finds glamorous ones.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, people that love cruises love cruises. It's like Disney. You know how to do it.
Yeah.
So you're going to do it well. I'm just somebody who's like, I'd rather go up north to a cabin or go to Europe.
Like, I'm so regimented, I think I would like it because I would wake up in the morning and be there, work out, breakfast, sit and read. And then, like, now we have our 2 hours of, walking around and pretending that we are not tourists.
Right.
All right. Tell me about
Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen, she's always in the news for something, right?
Mm-hmm.
This time, you know what? She ain't wrong. So some people were blasting her cheeks. She's like, oh my God, these people are like talking about like my cheek injections and how they're too big or da-da-da-da. And she's like, here's the deal. What happened to just like, I don't know, thinking things? Remember what thinking things felt like?
I know, right?
And she goes like, you'd go through a magazine, you'd be like, oh, that person looks like beep. I would never have that haircut. Those teeth suck. And then you would close your magazines. And then it would just disappear. It would go out into the universe.
It's pretty wild coming from her. I will say this.
Well, okay. So let me keep going.
Yeah,
so she's like, so just do that. You don't have to type it out. Just like you can think it, you can say it to your friend, but like you don't need to talk about it. And she keeps like going on and on and on about it. But then she basically is like, here's the deal. You're not the only one with eyes, but like, why would I ever do what you're accusing me to do? Why would I want to look stupid and dumb? Like, I just kind of want to float in the middle and be here. And then she goes on about how she only went on this rant because she's on a gummy and she's just tired and like sick of people. But the core of it, I think, is the idea of like, yeah, remember when you would just think things?
Yeah.
And like you'd use that big old brain of yours and you'd just be like, I'm going to pocket that one.
Yeah, I get it. I also think we are all I can't imagine saying something online to someone to hurt their feelings. But like we do it on this show.
Yeah, I think it, and I also say it out loud, but I'd probably say it to them.
We're going to say it to Chrissy Teigen. And
I would say what I just said. Yeah, I'd be like, hey, I agree with you.
That your cheeks look crazy.
I don't think her cheeks look crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if they do either. I mean, they look like they have something done to them, but
like, so does all of Hollywood. Like, they all everyone starts to look the same, you know?
Totally.
And you hit it, Brittany. For anybody to say this. Now, Chrissy has definitely apologized and regretted a lot of the things that she said in the past and said in the past when it comes online. But it is funny because we had this story. And then last week we had the story where she's like, I'm really trying to make sure my kids don't feel like they're walking down the path that I walked down or had to have the same feelings I felt. So you can definitely tell she's going through it right now where she's figuring out, okay, what I, had to experience and how can I make sure my family doesn't have to experience the same thing, which again, she's apologized repeatedly, said she wishes she could go back and take back everything that she's done. And we've all made mistakes. And
like, the thing is, it's like, be like me saying this. Like, I know that we talk about celebrities and the innards and outwards of things that I go, this is literally none of my business, but here we are.
Yeah.
I will say that we grow and get better. I mean, there would be a time where even this station would comment on somebody being too fat or too skinny because that was fine to talk about at one time.
Yeah.
And now we go back and we've even talked about it on the small amount of our show existing for the 6 months saying, you guys, I think I'm at a place where they don't need to tell me if you're on Ozempic. Like, I'm fine. I don't want you to lie to me. I just don't think I think we got to start treating it like a medication. We've even come to that in the 6 months of our, growth as a show. So yeah, Chrissy Teigen is definitely, I think, Mike, you're right. Like, something's going on with her. She's definitely going through the feels. And maybe her kids are just at an age where they're really dealing with this backlash, and she's seeing it and going, yeah, I would like to be the change that I would like to see.
Yeah, I think Luna and Miles are, especially Luna, definitely old enough that she's going to be looking at magazines and social media and seeing those things and to go, hey, listen, I need to set this as an example immediately.
Yeah. Because her big thing was in 2020, probably till 2023, it was just going online, talking crap about people. And it was awesome.
She's funny as hell.
She's funny until she's not.
And then all of a sudden you go, that was mean.
That was so mean. And I get it. And then then the really naughty stuff that come out about her too. And then she apologized for her. So it's yeah.
And I think she's sincere, but I will just say there is also a PR strategy where you definitely want to, a few years later, get yourself on the opposite side of where your controversy was. Yes. So when someone Googles online bullying and Chrissy Teigen, the article from this year shows up and not the one from 4 years ago.
That's true.
So I'm just saying there's definitely some strategy to make sure that the narrative moves forward and you're on the right side of it.
She was on Watch What Happens Live this week with Andy Cohen. And at that moment, I realized she's trying to make her comeback tour right now. She kind of waited it out. What's that?
I wonder if she's got another cookbook.
Yeah, something, but she's definitely trying to be mainstream because she took a little beat, stepped back, and even acknowledged that she was stepping back. And now she's trying to kind of get back in, and I wish her luck.
Yeah. I mean, do you, girl?
Totally. And also, I don't know. Yeah, I'll be very honest. I think her cheeks look silly, but I think a lot of people in Hollywood do silly things to their face. My face is currently peeling because I'm using retinol. We all do goofy things to look good.
God, I saw pictures from, and you and you go, God, I look so good today. And then you get a couple photos and it's the most unflattering photo you've ever seen of yourself. And you go, humble.
I was living my life like a normal person, and then I just went to the bathroom and I went, I'm fully peeling my whole face. Okay, cool. Good to see it. See you in a little bit. Go, Brittany. People are saying that Rachel Ray, something's going down with Rachel Ray. So she does this show. It is called Meals in Minutes. And on a recent episodes of Meals with Minutes, people were noting that things were not going well for her. She was garbling her words, and whether she was drunk or not, they said clearly something's going on. It appears like she's slurring her words. She's been a workaholic for so long. She's pushing herself too hard, and now she's putting herself under great stress. I watched a little bit of it. It wasn't that goofy. It looks like somebody who was kind of checked out. I'm sick of doing meal prep on TV, to be honest. She did some silly thing where she took 2 bowls on either side of her head and says, look, I'm Princess Leia. Okay. I think that there's such a
That's
low...
kind of her bit, right? To be goofy, right?
Yeah. I think there's just this really weird thing where people are like, if you we just had this happen with Chet Hanks. I hate to put Chet Hanks and Rachel Ray in the same boat because Rachel Ray works for a living. But I think there's I'm a huge Chet fan.
I wasn't gonna
sound
argue.
like it.
I'm a huge Chet fan, but I like that he doesn't work. I think people really don't jive with maybe unscripted TV, that throws them off a little bit. Maybe the non-polished version.
I remember, was it a few months ago? Or was it almost a year ago at this point that people started questioning whether she maybe had a problem?
Yeah.
You're nodding, Mike.
6 months ago, there was a story coming out. And again, it was basically this exact same story because she had a moment where she was just kind of stumbling through some words. Now, she did come out a month later and say that she has recently suffered a couple of serious falls. And that just brought more concern. Okay, so if it's not this, what's going on? What is it? So this is definitely not the first time we've heard about it. And it was exactly 6 months ago.
But you think about, and it could be nothing. It could be something to do with drugs or alcohol. It could be lack of sleep. It could be it could be a medical thing. But think about Michelle Trachtenberg when she just passed away. we didn't really have her on our radar at all because she hadn't really been in anything for a long time. But fans had been asking, oh, she must be on drugs. She must be drinking too much. She looks so different. She looks awful. Later, we find out that she'd had a liver transplant and her people were like, she had these major health issues before she passed away. Yeah. So you hope that with Rachel Ray, that's not the case. And she's just not. And she's just being really private about it and going like, I don't want to tell people that I'm super sick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's not
I don't know either.
Which one's better or worse?
I don't know.
There's no, I
don't know. It's just funny. I think it's really like, it's almost like the one thing I walked away from today and yesterday is like, if there's a chance to watch the footage that people are explaining dramatically, watch the footage because you'll find yourself going, huh? Huh? And like, I get it. I'm a little bit weirdo. So like, she says, what the heck, Batman, for no reason. That would not make me bat an eye living my life if somebody did that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. So we've got Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a story, and we're finally getting maybe some explanations to why we all have had the name Joe Burrow in our mouth for the last 4 months.
Yeah.
Because, Brittany, I'm willing to bet, I don't know for a fact, but if I said Joe Burrow, did you know who that human was 6 months ago?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Only because of fantasy.
Okay, gotcha. Because of fantasy football. Yes, that makes sense. But for the average person who's, going through the same websites we are, talking about the celebrities, we had not heard of Joe Burrow at all.
I didn't know who he was dating, what he was up to. I think he's a Cincinnati Bengal.
There you go. Yeah,
but that's a guesstimate,
right.
So I didn't know much about him.
Well,
my mom wouldn't know.
There's always a reason.
Oh, and he was really hot. He was hot. When he first came on the scene, people were pretty excited how hot he was. I will say that did.
He's got the Macaulay Culkin thing going on.
Yeah, it's childlike. It's not really my jam, but I get it.
Not me. The bleach blonde, no thank you. But there's a reason why we were talking about him. Of course, he had that break-in where Olivia Ponton, who's a social media influencer, happened to be just at his house and was, quote, working there.
Yeah,
She's an employee.
Yeah, lawn care.
And keep in mind, this was when he was at the ESPYs, I think. So he wasn't even there when she called it in. There was that whole story. Then just a couple of weeks ago, he was in New Orleans and we saw him with Dixie D'Amelio. And we're like, wow, he's got all of these, social media influencers, all these people around him. Well, now we know why. The second season of Quarterback on Netflix is on the way. And guess who's featured?
Mr. Burrow.
Joe Burrow
will be.
So.
Yes. Now, if you haven't checked out these, Netflix does an amazing job of these types of shows. We've talked about Full Swing, the golf version of this. There was Quarterback last year. They did Receiver, and this is going to be season 2 of Quarterback. It's going to feature not only Joe Burrow, but Kirk O'Chains is back. Kirk Cousins. One of the biggest reasons why his kind of stock rose in a huge way was because of the way people felt about him after watching this series on Netflix.
The breakout star, and Brittany Mahomes was the opposite of that.
Correct.
For sure.
And honestly, I liked her more after.
And then Jared Goff is the other name. He, of course, the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, who you would expect to be very good again next year. So those are the 3 that'll be featured. This is a show that was top 5 on Netflix for a few weeks after it dropped. It has been highly anticipated on who they were going to be able to get, whether or not everyone thought they were going to have to switch it from quarterbacks to receivers, maybe running back, because they couldn't get enough people to agree to it. Clearly, they got Kirk Cousins too. They got Joe Burrow too, and Jared Goff. So when we're starting to see names of somebody we don't always talk about in the headlines, there's always a reason.
So, do you think the girl at the house was that? That one kind of.
That felt pretty real because we all thought he was engaged to a different Olivia.
That felt a little real.
It did.
So
I'm not saying. Do I seem like a full conspiracy theorist who doesn't even think a break-in happened? Would that be me? I would never say such a thing.
We all look right and left. We all are kind of looking around going, ooh.
It was at the time when everybody's houses were getting broken into, so no one really questioned it.
I'm sure it was legit. Plus, I think they actually did assign a few people to those. Remember, there was that string of break-ins, and they actually arrested a couple of people.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that
happened.
Mom,
and her mom called 911 and didn't really know what to say.
That's like so millennial coded. I called my mom instead of the police.